true. He's always been so graceful, like so true. And can't nobody do me like you do. Say, ain't nobody do like you do. Ain't nobody do like you do. I don't know where I be without your love. If you ain't cover me, where I be. If you turn your face, oh God, I'm struck. I don't know where I be without your love. If you ain't cover me, if you turn your face, oh God, I'm struck. The love takes so high up to the sky. It's my security. Our intimate conversation so full of admiration. It's so genuine and so pure. Yeah, your love, baby, for sure. You're the only ultimate cure. See, I'll always be here. And there's no way I can detour. Cause I can't live without you, can't move without you, can't do without you, can't breathe without you. Bring me back to life. I don't know where I be without your love. If you ain't cover me, if you turn your face, oh God, I'm love struck. I don't know where I be without your love. If you ain't cover me, if you turn your face, oh God, I'm love struck. I'm love struck. You got me saying love struck. You got me so love struck. I can't contain it. I'm love struck.
That's Love Struck by LeBron. Now we got Reggie Campbell coming. My hope.
My peace is in his name. My hope is in his name. My joy is in his name. My trials, tribulations, persecution, I can make it. On Christ, solid rock I stand. All of the ground is sinking sand. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I do not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus gave my hope, my peace, my joy, my confidence in His name, in His name, in His name. Hope is in His name. My peace is in His name. My hope is in His name. My joy is in His name. My hope, my peace. Hope is in His name. My peace is in His name. Hope is in His name. My joy. All of my hope is in His name. All of my hope is in the name of the Lord. My hope is in His name. All of my hope is in His name. My hope is in His name, yeah. All of my hope is in His name. Cast your cares upon him, for he cares for you. My hope, my hope, my hope is in the name of the Lord. My hope, my hope is in his name. My hope, my hope is in the name of the Lord. My hope, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm hoping that you're tuning in to the Kickin' It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb. We're going a little hour later tonight at 7 p.m. Usually we're on at 6 p.m. We thank you for tuning in tonight. I have a special guest all the way from Washington, D.C. that is on tonight, none other than Mr. Phil Nelson.
Hey, what's up, Cassaundra?
Awesome. Great to see you again.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I mean, it just seemed like we did in Atlanta. That was absolutely great.
Yes,
it
we
was
had a great time
meeting you, and of course, all the festivities that went along with it. Yes.
Well, it was exciting to see you, and we're excited to have you here on the Kickin' It Live once again on the Kickin' It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb and Girl TV. We are excited about you because you're on our radio.
Did you kick your foot out?
You know I did.
So you thought I didn't catch that, see?
Yes, that is exciting. I'm so excited to have you on tonight. Listen, we're going to talk a little bit about your book that you got coming out. We're talking a little bit more about other great things that you got coming out, other things that you're doing. So we wanted to make sure that we get everything that you're doing on tonight. Our interview there kind of got muffled and got around to kind of crazy, but we just thank God that you were able to come back on so we can actually get more information out to people that would love to have your book, love to know a little bit more about you. And I see that your birthday is on Valentine's Day.
Hey.
Really?
Hey. That's right. I'm a Valentine baby.
How do you celebrate? Well, I can't talk because I'm a turkey baby every other year. So it's a little different when you're a Valentine baby and a turkey baby. You know, Valentine's is about.
So I won't even say that you're a turkey, so I'm not even going to go there. We're going to use the Lady Cassaundra scream and have a turkey sitting up there, you know, with some pretty feathers.
That's it. You know, he's going to have some feathers working there, baby. It's going to have some feathers working on that.
Got to dress it up, you know. Yeah, well, you know what?
I'm excited to have you. Huh?
Yeah, to kind of answer that question, you know, how do I celebrate Valentine's Day? Well,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of odd. I mean, I'm kind of like I'm a romantic at heart, you know, but it has to be brought out though. You know, it's not something that that just illuminates all the time, you know. But I used to say that I lose out on Valentine's Day, and the reason why I say that because I can't really fully celebrate my birthday because I have to give. You know what I'm saying? So most people on their birthdays, you know, it's their day. So if I'm in a relationship, which I'm not, you know, I haven't been in quite some time. I'm a single guy. But in a relationship, you know, you got to really bring the flowers. You got to bring your A game on Valentine's Day, which I don't mind doing. But, you know, I want the A game brought to me, too. It's my birthday. You know what I'm saying? But I'm all good with it. I never really celebrated big birthdays. I always thank God for allowing me to live another year and being able to prosper and continue on the journey that he has for me to do. I may not have always understood that journey, but I always looked at it as, God, thank you for another year. Thank you. Thank you for getting me through the foolishness and the mess, you know, so I can continue to go on and on into another year so I can become a year older. So that's how it is.
Well, that's awesome. I'm like I said, I'm the turkey baby every
Right.
other year.
Gobble gobble.
So I don't really get to celebrate my birthday either because I'm
Mm-hmm.
always cooking and
Mm-hmm.
doing some preparing for the kids, doing all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I have grandchildren now, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure they eat. I make sure I have people come over all the time, so it's fun to me that I get to
Right.
celebrate with family and friends. So I think that makes a difference when it's doing the holidays, when your birthday's doing the holidays, so
Oh, of course. Of
it makes a
course.
little difference.
Yeah. And then, I'm a first time grandfather. I have a 5-year-old
Oh,
grandson. Yeah. How about that?
okay.
You're way ahead of me. I'm sure yours a
Well, I
little bit
have
older than that.
six. I have six. I have six grand girls. I have no boys.
Oh, my
I have
goodness.
my oldest. Yes, my oldest just turned. She's a
Hmm.
teenager
Wow.
now. Whew.
Okay.
Yeah, and she really thinking she's grown, but that's not.
Well,
That's not the
that's to be
case. That's
expected.
not the case.
I feel blessed that both of my boys are grown, and I got a grandson because I kind of retired so that, I can have my grandson, then I can return him in due time back
Oh
to
yes.
who it belongs to.
Well,
They
it's
can come
nice when
visit.
you can.
Yeah, you can come visit Papa anytime, but there's Dad right there, Let Dad
Yes.
handle you. But it is a
Understand?
blessing. It's indeed a blessing to be able to have family and that sort of thing, and especially during the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and the other days as well. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Awesome. I'm just excited to have you here tonight to talk a little bit about your book, talk a little bit
Mhm.
about yourself. I noticed that you have a radio show yourself or talk show, whatever you do. And there are a lot of things that you have done down through the years that should be remembered because you've
Mhm.
worked with R&B and gospel as far as you're working
Right.
with gospel now, but you have worked with several legends down through the years, so it's a kind of full circle for you. It looks like, but tell the people a little bit more about you, where you
Mhm.
from, what you actually do. First of all, let the listeners hear who you are, Mr. Phil Nelson.
Okay. Well, for those that don't know me, first let me give a shout out to the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. That's where I am now. But of course, hey, I got to also give a shout out to Norfolk and Virginia Beach and my hometown of Newport News, Virginia, Warwick High School. I got to give props. And of course, Virginia State University, that's my old stomping ground. So,
Wow.
I'm kind of rich in the HBCU category because, I worked at Howard University at WHUR. That's where I did the Quiet Storm in part, along with
Wow.
my overnights and some gospel. And
Yeah.
also Praise 104.1 in Washington, D.C., where I spent weekends doing gospel too as well. So I have a very extensive radio background. It's been 40 years. Can you believe that? 40
Wow.
years, since I
You don't look
actually,
that old. Wait, well, hold on. Wait,
hey, wait a minute.
hold on.
That's the,
Roll
wait a
over
minute.
that. Wait.
Look, let me put
Did
it
you
to you
just
like
say?
that. That's DEM jeans.
Oh, okay. Because I'm finna
That's
say, bro, you say 40 years. Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
I
Just a
gotta thank
moment.
mama for that and my dad, because they had those genes, that heredity, man. I mean, it's a great thing.
Man.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a
that's a
beautiful
good
thing.
gene, I
So
guess. I mean, that's a great gene to have, because black don't crack, but I'm just saying.
there you go. Hey, I'm with you 110%. It don't crack, especially if you try to, if you take care of yourself, it really doesn't
That's
crack.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah,
I
it's
don't even
been
have makeup on. So, it's good
well,
when you can wear
I, well, see, I can't really see in detail, but if you don't have makeup on, you really doing that thing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have makeup on. I just got my
So
little
that's
lip liner, I just have my
all
little
right.
lip stuff on, guys. I didn't want to be ashy coming to you, you got ashy lips and going on trying to
Wait a
talk.
minute, ashy in high definition, HD ash.
Yeah.
You don't want that. But yeah, I mean,
You don't
40
want that.
years.
You don't want that.
No, we don't want
40
that. 40 years.
years. Oh my
40
gosh.
years in the business. I started back in 1984. Actually, it goes back further than that because I was actually a street jock. So if I go a little bit further back, let's go back a little bit further before my radio career began. In 1977, 78, that's when I started doing playing as a street jock, and I was playing, family reunions and picnics in the park in Hampton and Newport News, Virginia, that sort of thing. And I kind of got interested in the mechanics of radio. So in 12th grade, my senior year, everybody's trying to get together. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, with your life? And I'm saying to myself, well, it's something dealing with the media. I don't know what it is, but let me kind of figure this out. So I just did odd jobs. I worked in an amusement park, and also I worked clothing retail. They loved me in clothing retail, but then radio just came into play, that sort of thing. I said, maybe I can do that. So I got a lucky opening. I'm going to talk about that in the book. I won't go into details, but in 1984, I got my start in radio doing the Master Mix Dance Party, which is the mix that you hear on the air now, but of course done by a whole lot younger guys than me right now. But I was young at one time, and I was pretty good at what I did, and eventually became the Quiet Storm host for Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and Newport News. And I really didn't want that shift because I knew I wasn't going to be known for my music in the streets, club jock, that sort of thing. But it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to my career. And I ended up holding on to that position for 20 years. And it was a wonderful run. Show stayed at number one. There were some spinoff shows, because of sales of the radio station being sold to different owners and that sort of thing. But overall, the love, dance, and romance format has been very, very good for me. And then I went to Washington, D.C. to WHUR, and that's the home of the Quiet Storm. And Washington, D.C. is very, very, very proud of their Quiet Storm heritage. And I feel very privileged to have been a part of that, for 8 years while I was there. And I also did gospel overnight. Actually, before Steve Harvey came on in the morning. So I did 2 hours of gospel. And then I went on to Praise 104.1 in Washington for a little while before COVID, and did gospel there. So that's pretty much my radio history. But I still continue on doing my own business. My own business is Nelson Media and Investments, LLC, but I can be reached at nelsonmediainvestments.com. And what that is voiceover services. I'm also a producer. I do commercials. I've done plenty of commercials over the years and that sort of thing through the radio station. So what I decided to do is start my own business on my own terms. Let's make some things happen, like voice tracking, let's get some clients, to voice some stuff, even do drops for DJs in the club and, from all genres. If you go to my website, you see the different services that I offer and the different ways that I do it. So if you ever want to do some voice services and you want a new voice guy, I'm the man to do it. So, you just hit me up, send me an email.
Well, see, listen, I love voiceovers. I think the lady that's on the GPS, I think she need a voiceover. I think it need to be a man. Because, me and the GPS lady don't get along too well.
Y'all don't get along at all.
I don't like her at all.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you something. Does she take you in wrong directions?
Yes. And then she take me in the wrong direction. Then when I figure out I know where I'm going, or I figure out I could have went a different way from what she took me, I'm real mad. And I don't understand why you gotta take me through a neighborhood to go the same way that I went. Well, come on now. I don't understand that. So but if she had a voice like Luther, or something, we got a guy here named he does KG Smooth, like you're saying, the late night R&B, the stuff. Right. His name is KG Smooth, and he's off for 102.1. And when he talks, it's like he's got that smooth debonair voice, And so, I remember the Quiet Storm. I literally remember the Quiet Storm when I was younger. I used to come on the radio, so I remember that. I remember always listening at the old school, the Smokey Robinson, the Luthers, and all of that kind of stuff. You know, the Four Tops. See, so many people they don't even know what I'm talking about. You know, these young people, they don't know the Whispers and all of that kind of stuff. The real music, you know, Sam Cooke and all of that. The real music for back in the day. Right. But I think about how when we were young, as you would say, that, you know, the music that we listen to now, this era, this genre, what can you, I mean, it's kind of hard to say when we do to help this genre, because this genre is really messed up to me.
Yeah.
Because I can't get really involved with some of this music that we have out here. I don't like the disrespect in some of the music. I don't like the how we used to have music that meant something and really made people enjoy sitting down and listening to music. Some of this stuff I cannot sit down and listen to and get to enjoy because it's not what it used to be. Even in the gospel, I can't even, some of that I don't even, oh my God, some of that I don't even want to listen to. So as a person that has been in this industry as long as you have and listening to the music on the radio, what can you tell the artists and some of the radio people? How can we help them? That's what I really want to know. Is there anything that we could do now to bring them back to a time of real music and real morals? Because our music had morals. This music has no moral.
Well, the reason why it has morals is because we had morals. The reason why the music sounded the way it did, because we had standards. The reason why the music sounded the way it did, we had families. You know, even if it wasn't our own family, we had extended families. We had father figures, we had mother figures, you know, that sort of thing. And that's lacking a lot in today's society. So artists are writing about only what they know. You know, unfortunately, it's not a good story, in my opinion, because it's not showing love. It's not showing togetherness. It's not showing really intimacy the way it needs to be displayed. You know, if you listen to the artists of yesterday, I just use the Stylistics, the Tempreys, I use the Isley Brothers. One of the groups that I love the most, the Whispers. I call them the ambassadors of love, dance, and romance. Barry White, you know, they said lyrics of love and lyrics of togetherness, and so and the lyrics, you know, you know, even if you wanted to say it got a little suggestive, it was kind of, you know, timid. It was a timid suggestion, and it gave room for a lot of imagination. The music lacks imagination. Right now, everything is like duh duh duh. Here it is, doom doom doom. It's right there in your face, and it's blatant, and it doesn't leave any anticipation. It doesn't leave any imagination, and it's harsh. And unfortunately, our young women coming up today, that's all they have to look forward to. You know, unless they decide to get outside of their comfort zone, their box of their generation, and learn what that's all about, they won't know. Now, a lot of the young brothers doing the music, I applaud them. They're very talented. You know, your Neos and things like that. But I would ask them to be a little bit more laid back in their lyrics, be a little bit more personal in their lyrics, and try to get in touch with the female that they're trying to cater to, and not be so blatant. You know, leave it to their imagination. Let them think about how it is in the music and the lyrics that you're trying to give them to make them draw themselves to you. You don't have to be as straight up and blatant and just forceful with the lyrics. But if you try to get back to where we used to, back to your question, society has to change. And that's a whole different platform where I can't even start to answer, because then collectively as a group, we have to change our ways. We have to change the way we think. We got to get the Black family back together, you know, stop being selfish. You know, it's all kinds of things that I could put out there, in my opinion, that would help bring that back to reality. But it starts with us. It starts with us as a man, as a woman, as a family, television and radio. I mean, that's something other than what I'm saying. Let's start with us. Start with us as men and women? And how do we want to present ourselves to our children? Because they're sponges.
Yes.
They're going to imitate what they see us do. So if we're always fighting, if we're telling a bad story, if we can't reconcile, we can't get together, that's what the music's going to be about. If they see a man dogging their mama, a woman seeing a man dogging her mama, that's what she's going to talk about in her rap lyrics for the most part. Same thing with a male. You know, they're coming up and they see all this, they're talking about life experiences. Let's exchange, or I guess you could say, let's change up our life experiences a little bit by changing the way that we think and act.
Yes. I think that, like you said, we really do need to change some of the things that we are, how we do things and how we operate as far as artists and people that, there are certain things that I just don't listen to, or there are certain things I just don't even look at on TV anymore. TV is horrible.
Right.
I keep my channel. I'm a HGTV person and a Food Network person. Every now and then I'll look at some kind of reality TV. I kind of got hooked on Dynasty lately. I gotta finish that series because it was back in the day we had Dynasty. Joan Collins and all the good people.
Right.
But this one here is a little bit up to date, and I think that, man, I tell you, this one here, it kind of gets your mind to thinking these people are ruthless nowadays, and I think they're either ruthless if they're not ruthless in their personal life, they're ruthless in their business life. It's just so much going on. Well,
it's a culture. It's a culture.
It is a culture. I think it's a culture too.
And it started, and people are jumping on that bandwagon. That wide path instead of that narrow path. And I mean, you can use that in a spiritual reference. Wide is the path of destruction, narrow is the path of righteousness. But it's just the path that we choose to be on, and you go on with what's going on. So that's what we get. Unfortunately, so.
Understandable. I am right now. We're gonna go to one of our commercial breaks, and then we're gonna play a little more music, and we're gonna come back. And when we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit about your first experience with the Spin Awards and how you enjoyed the Spin Awards yourself. And we're just gonna talk a little bit about that, and then we're gonna go into talking about a little bit about your book. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
All righty. What just happened? Okay.
The LCJW Radio, known as the Faith Walker Radio.
For turning my life around, I wanna praise you. For putting my feet on solid ground, I worry night and day, but Lord, you made a way for me. For me. Oh, how I love you. I praise you. I lift my hands in gratitude. I wanna thank you, 'cause you've been there. I wanna thank you, show me that you care. I wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, 'cause you are my everything. Listen, I wanna thank you for making me brand new. I wanna praise you for showing me love and patience. I wanna thank you, Lord, 'cause you've been there. I wanna thank you, Lord, for me that you care. I wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you for that. You are my everything. Ooh, I wanna thank you, 'cause you've been there. I wanna thank you, Lord. Show me that you care. I wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I wanna thank you, Lord, 'cause you freed us. Now I walk in victory. You are my everything. Thank you, Jesus. When I thought hope was gone, you carried me through the storm. You are my everything. Yeah, you are my everything. You are my everything, my everything, my everything. What I'm living on, my everything, 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 everything.
That was Miss Neva Coordination. Now you're going to Lady Cassaundra Webb with Send Me.
Heard a voice from the Lord saying, "Child, here I am, Lord, send me, I'll go." I heard a voice from the Lord saying, "Child, oh, I will say what you want me to say, and tell the whole world about you each and every day. I'm a vessel, Lord, I'm ready. Here I am to do your will. Send me. Use Joseph to tell men about dreams. You use Moses to lead the children of Israel. You brought the Hebrew boys out of burning just to show the king that they would not bow. You brought out the lion's den just to prove that you are real. So I'm up there. Yeah, I am. Oh, yeah. If you agree to say what he tells you, say I'll say it. I'll say it. If you agree to do what he tells you, say I'll do it. I'll do it. If you want to be what he wants you to be, say I'll be it. I'll be it. If you want to go where he wants you to go, say I'll go. Lord, I'll go. Lord, yeah. Wherever you want me to go, Lord, I'll go. Yeah, I just won't ever be in your will. I'll go. Send me. If you want me to travel the world, yeah. Send me. Or if you want me to just be still, I'll go. Send me. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Lord, I'm available. I'm ready to be used. I know you use David to heal the giant. You use Elijah to tell them something to stand still. So right now, Lord, I'm asking you to use me. Yeah. Yes, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Well, that that was none other than Lady Cassaundra Webb herself. Send Me. I did that back in 2015. So that was my first single ever, was that single, Send Me. And the one before was none other than Miss Neva Ford Nation, My Everything. Yes, these are Houston artists on their own. I tell you what, I am excited tonight. Thank you for coming, tuning in, and thank you guys for coming back to finish this great conversation on tonight. Listen, my guest right here is Mr. Phil Nelson, all the way from Washington, D.C. We thank him for being a part of our show on tonight. We met this past about 2 weeks ago in Atlanta, Georgia. They're at the 2023 Spin Awards right there in Atlanta. And I'm excited about that because we have been doing the 2023, well, we've been doing the Spin Awards, let me say it like that, since 2000, I think 7 years. So, 7 years. 7 years is a year of completion. Now, next year is going to be a year of new beginnings. I got to tell that to Minister Appointed when I talk to her, because new beginnings, we're starting new things and going higher in the Lord. We've completed one chapter. We completed that whole thing, that full fold. We've come full fold. Now it's time to move into our new beginnings. And I think it's getting bigger and greater. We're having new people to come and be a part of the Spin Award. I'm excited because when we started out, it was very small. It seemed as though, people didn't understand what it was about. It's about radio announcers. It's about honoring those people that spin your music. So, and I think really a lot of artists don't understand what it is to be a part of that great opportunity, because there's so many radio people in the house. It's just like being at the Stellars, but it's a lot better than being at the Stellars because you're not singing in front of just regular people. You're actually singing in front of media, radio people that spin your music. So it's a great opportunity for an artist to be at, because you have the opportunity to hand them your music if they don't have it, or meet who they are. Some places say they're distributing your music everywhere, but if you don't have a person that actually works your music on the radio, this is for the artists. And I do a lot of snippets for artists, because I want independent artists to understand that when you're out there, it doesn't matter how it distributed out. It's going everywhere, yes. But you can't make a person play your music, and you also cannot just assume that it's going anywhere. You have to have somebody that's working your music. And by that means working the radio and knowing the radio. That's the reason why the Spin Awards is so important to a artist, especially an independent artist. Since this was your first time coming to the Spin Awards and meeting some of us, how did you enjoy the Spin Awards? How did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed myself. I really did. I'd like to say thanks to G. Paris Media Group for getting me into the Spin Award circle. I mean, I enjoyed the fact of being able to talk to all of the artists, the nominees, the winners, meeting you. And I'm going to use you as an example because I actually listened to your music once I came back home. I was like, my God, this woman can sing. I mean, you really can sing. And then you just played your first single. I was like, wow. I said, maybe you need to be on that stage next year. You need to be on that stage next year. But I really enjoyed just the fact of the camaraderie with all of the artists. I'd like to give a big shout out to Mr. Bobby Parker for sure.
That is my friend.
Yes, Bobby Parker. Congratulations to him and his induction into the Hall of Fame. Yes. Congratulations, Bobby. Well done and well deserved. So I guess that was pretty much one of my biggest thrills to be able to meet him, along with a lot of others. I really look forward to possibly coming back next year, being on the red carpet with everybody else. But I mean, that gospel thing, I mean, it's all a part of my life anyway. So I just enjoy just the fact of being there, the artists, the music, you know, the on-stage presentation. And just like you were saying earlier, you know, and I think the show host, what was his name? Griff? Was that his name? Griff?
Oh yeah, Griff. Griff is
Yeah.
from
He's, you
from
know,
the
he has a
Earth
joking
Rebel.
personality. He was extremely funny.
Oh, he's
He said,
crazy.
man,
Yeah.
we all are radio announcers. We all know a sound when we hear a sound. We know what's supposed to sound this way and how it's supposed to sound that way. So, you know, like you were saying earlier, as an independent artist, you coming into a platform like that around radio announcers and production people,
Yes.
you know, you want to put on your A game. You want to make sure it sounds right because it's a great opportunity for you. And I just love being in that atmosphere. It was extremely nice. And I feel honored to have been able to be in a house in Atlanta.
I love it because each year I meet new people. I'm doing different things. She has me working every year. There's no time that I'm really never been an artist. I've always been a presenter, an announcer, I'm hosting a show. And then this time I'm the whole, my daughter and myself, we were the whole correspondence team. So it was kind of like busy. So I was like, and I was like, I love to be busy. I do. I really do. But it was a lot this year. I think this year she put me more hats on this year than I've had in a long time with her. But I don't mind. I love it. I love it. And being a part of the Spin Awards has really encouraged me to do so much more than just radio. You know, like going with my network and doing a lot of other things. We're here, and I would love for you to come here and see our new state-of-the-art studio as soon as we get through finishing it up here. Hit Vault Studios here with Girl TV and LOK Network. It is the local. We'll be here, one of the largest one in Houston. We're in Texas, so you would love what we're doing here. And I think it's and I heard that since you are media man, you know, you're going to be able to come and tell us a little bit about what we're doing right and wrong.
I'll be more than happy to come, and of course be more than happy to critique if that's what you want me to do.
Oh, listen, I don't mind critique. You know, some people don't like you when somebody tell you, something that I don't like that. Or I don't like, you know, I don't like what you're wearing or what I don't like what that is. That don't look right. That color don't look good on you. You know, my sister told me one time, she said, just don't wear yellow. And, you know, you got your hair colored blonde and all that. Don't wear yellow and blonde. You already yellow. So you
Oh my goodness, I done had enough of those yellow jokes for real. You know, I mean, we in the same boat.
The yellow jokes, yeah. I still get the yellow jokes.
Why don't you put on some olive, Phil? Put on something olive or a little bit dark. You don't even put on anything dark.
Yeah, that's what she said. Why don't you just put on another color? You know, that yellow just make you already light bright. I was like, you know what?
That's funny.
Yeah. You know, we get that kind of attitude with our sisters. So I can actually have that attitude with my sister. But it was really, you know, I told her, I said, well, I like you because I think I look good in yellow. You know, since I'm light, bright things, you know, it bring out the complexion. So, you know, she said, just don't wear that and wear blood. Change your hair color, or change something. I said, okay, whatever you say. But anyway,
with critique, I just want to say this: with critique, you're able to grow. You know, if you have more than a few opinions, that's why I welcome it. You know, it's hard for a lot of people, and I know it was for me earlier in the game to hear what I'm doing wrong or hear another point of view. You know, because you always think that you're the master of what you survey. You're the master of what you think. But once you are able to humble yourself in that position, and you're able to listen, it can be hard, you know. But once you're able to do that, then you can learn, you can grow, you can take bits and pieces from different places and add your experience and everything that you have wrapped around you and make yourself a better person. That's the way I look at it. So I'm pretty cool with critique.
I think critiquing does help you do better. And it does. I mean, you know, I think that my sister just kind of, you know, what I get it from my daughter too. So, and you know, she actually is a workaholic. So she's like the person that tells me, you know, when I'm in photo shoots, she's telling me, hold your head up, do this. Don't look like that. Don't look. And I'm like, you know, okay, come on. You're going a little bit too far. Yeah. I'm still your mama. Yeah.
Right.
I know you work, I know this is work, but my goodness. Come on, lady. It gets that way sometimes.
It does.
It gets
It
that way.
does.
It gets that way. So actually, since this was your first trip to the Spin Awards, let's get back to what we're talking about. Let me get back to that. Since this was your first trip to the Spin Awards and meeting all the people that you met, and like you said, I'm excited about Bobby Parker because he's been doing this a long time.
Yes.
And then we have another legend in the house, which is Everett Drake, which had been with Bobby Jones for years, singing in the Jones choir and come back and doing his own thing. And he is a legend all by himself. He's actually sang, some great country people, he sang with some legends down through the years, not just Bobby Jones. People just kick him to just Bobby Jones, but he's been around and he's done music for a long time. He don't look like it with his young self.
Another one that got them good genes.
Again.
Got them good genes.
Them good genes, yeah. Them good genes is working. But to have, and I'm excited to always be around them when I'm with them. I can't wait till next month going to Nashville, one of my favorite places to go. And it's going to be some good food there because me and him are going and we're going to eat at our favorite restaurant there. And it's called Cock on the Walk. And you talk about some of the best catfish and chicken. Glory, hallelujah. My God, I just had a taste bud right there.
Taste bud moment.
Yeah, taste bud moment. Because I haven't had it in a few years since the last time I went there for his birthday. And I interviewed him on my show back then for his birthday. And I thought that was one he allowed me to interview him for his birthday. It was a grand occasion last year. I think his birthday is in February too. January, February, somewhere there. So he's going to be celebrating a birthday coming back up. So, but in order to, for next year, what do you think that we should do better? Give us an idea of some of the things that maybe we could make better next year for the Spin Awards. So we could put that in motion. We could start critiquing what we did wrong this year. And maybe we could, how we fix it for next year, that it invests for what we got coming up.
I think the main thing that stuck out for me was pretty much the production. As far as the on stage presence, with the artists, that could be stepped up quite a bit. The equipment and how that was being maintained or not maintained. That right there would make it a better production.
But I think she had no control. I think she had no control over how that was supposed to work because she had no idea that she had to use they were making her use their equipment, their people to operate everything, where things just kept going wrong. And I think that was one of the things that irritated her the most, is because she could not have her own people operating her things. They were watching them, but they could not do anything with those people's equipment. And I think that was kind of bad, because when you're renting a place or leasing a place, it should be somebody that knows what everything is, how it operates. Somebody should go there to that place and find out how it operates beforehand, be with them. I don't care if you have to have a class, or work with them a whole week while they're doing it. But somebody in our team needed to be there to, oversee this and find out what needed to be done. I mean, they were back there, but it just seemed as though that they wasn't listening to nothing we were saying.
Right. I think it's just something that can be taken care of on a whole, nothing really major, just some tweaks. And I think they're pretty much aware of that now. So I wouldn't anticipate that it will be a repeat next year. So I have confidence in that.
Oh no, I don't think we're gonna have a repeat of that, because if
Mhm.
they knew how upset she was, I think
Mhm.
they gonna do a little bit better than what they did.
Right, right.
She was really upset about
Mhm.
that whole because she really had no idea of how that was supposed to work. And I
Right.
really understand. I really like that we got it straight then and not later.
Mhm.
And we as radio people and people of public eye, as you would say, because we're media.
Right.
On some aspects, we expect to have glitches and things to happen.
Oh
Just
yeah,
like
that's
our
gonna
interview.
happen.
We couldn't, our lapel mics went out, and so I couldn't
Mhm.
put a lapel mic on you, so we had to use the overhead mic, and the overhead
Right.
mics had everything going, everywhere. So it was
There's a
kind of
lot of
like,
noise going on.
a lot of
Lot of
noise
action.
going on. We could hear each other. We knew what we were talking about, but
Mhm.
hearing the rumbling and the grumbling behind us, it was like crazy. Wow.
Mhm.
He didn't even realize how loud it was,
Right.
but like Miss Glorious, your publicist said, she said you sit back like you had red bottoms on.
Oh my God. See, that was her big joke. We laughed and we laughed about
She
that.
told me
But I
about the
said,
red bottoms.
but I told Glenda, I said, my foot is faced the other way. They can't tell. They can't tell. You can't tell I don't have red bottoms on, man. It's all good.
They can't tell. They can't tell.
But my posture was a posture of being comfortable. If
It
I could
was,
say
and those
that,
chairs was very comfortable. Those
I
chairs
was,
were very comfortable.
I was very
I had to keep
comfortable.
sitting on the edge though. I can't. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they were too
Well,
comfortable for me.
well, I had them type of, skinny jeans, skinny dress pants. When it's skinny like that, you
Yeah,
can't
you
sit
was
up, you might
dressed
tear
up.
them. So you got to lay
You
back.
was dressed up, man.
Had to be
Oh
cool
my
about
God.
it. But anybody that looks at that video on your website, can see that, hey, that guy must be real comfortable sitting in that chair.
He was real comfortable. He was real comfortable. Real comfortable.
Real comfortable and laid
Listen,
back.
yes, I'm just excited that you really took our time and then getting a re-interview of some of the things that we were talking about during the Spin Awards, and I thank you for your taking out your time with me. Now, let's get to this book. Let's talk a little bit about the book and what inspired the book. What are some of the things that inspired your book? How can people get your book? What is in this book that is so important to someone else? What's in your book that would encourage someone else to really be encouraged to buy the book and say, hey, I need this book because it's going to help somebody else, or is it going to help me? What about this book? What's the title? Just tell people about the book. Just tell them about
Just a little something. I give you just a little bit,
Yeah,
just to
just
give you
listen.
an idea of what's
Yeah,
going on. Okay,
yeah.
well, it's going to be 23 chapters, and it's about a book of life. And the reason why I say a book of life, it starts with my life, but I want you to see the reflection of yourself in my life through circumstance. So the name of the book is called In the Eye of the Storm, the Quiet Storm. Peace Be Still. And it's a combination of my show that I did for so long, The Quiet Storm, was very successful for me, and the storms of life. Being in the eye of the foolishness and in the eye of all of the drama, and the peace be still is the end game, which is pretty much the redemption. So when you go through those 23 chapters of my life, starting from a baby all the way until now, you may see a reflection of your life in me and giving you an opportunity for choices. Because a lot of the times when people go through things, they rely on themselves to get themselves through the storm. But God says, if you rely on me, take yourself out of the equation, trust me, I will get you through any and everything that you go through. It may not look the way that you want it to look, but if you trust me, I will get you through it. And I will leave it at that, because there's so much in those 23 chapters that speaks to that reference. That speaks exactly to that reference. So what I'm going to do in February, we're going to do a picture book. A picture book is set up to give you a little bit of what I just finished talked about, like maybe 3-4 pictures of what's happening for every chapter. It's meant for pre-sales. Okay. And then the book will be released a little bit later on after that. So the audience can look forward to the picture book coming out in February, which I'm in process of putting together right now. And I think people will enjoy the content of it, the way it's written, the way it's wrapped. You know, I'm not talking about necessarily the physical aspect, but what is wrapped in the word, along with the fact of the experience. So I think it's going to be a marvelous piece of work. I'm not saying that because I'm writing it, but I'm saying it because of the fact of what it stands for. And I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, that sounds good. Everything. I mean, I'm excited because it's number 23 chapters. Amen. But let's go. Hallelujah. I don't like long books. You know, right. I'm like Madil. When you know, when I get to that red part where Jesus is talking, he just talks in the red. Is it too much red for me to read? I can't do it. I can't do it.
Look, you may have to put it down and come back. You know, put it down and come back. You know, don't stop reading.
But that's where I am. I'm gonna put it down and then I'll go back to it. But I just can't. When I see a big book, I'm gonna tell you, even in school, I used to have a hard time.
I don't think it's going to be real big and thick. 23 chapters isn't that bad. Come on.
Oh no, you good with 23. I can do 23 to 25 chapters. I'm good. Okay. Now when it go beyond, I've read a book that had 30. So and it's one of the greatest books I ever read, and I've read it. I've read that book 3 times. And it's Pray Through, and it was written by one of the monarchs of the Church of God in Christ, and what it means to pray through. And it's one of the greatest books I've ever read in my life, and because it talks about praying, and it talks about your prayer life and being. It's almost like the war room, but she warred. That woman in that book warred like never before, you know. And I continue.
You're talking about the movie, right?
Yeah, the War Room movie. Yeah.
I love that. But movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it, and I guess because I actually what it means to pray through was, to me, it seemed like it was the same concept almost, but it's the same concept with that book, kind of, but. What she went through and some of the things, but that woman, you need to really read that book, What It Means to Pray Through. That book will
I'm gonna need to pick that up for sure.
Oh yeah, it will take you there. But I am excited about what God is doing in your life and what God is doing in the kingdom. And I'm excited that you took out time today to talk about the quiet storm and some of the things you did, because you know, I think you're a little bit older than me. I'm not going to say you're older than me. You're a little bit older than me.
Women never give their age.
Yeah. Not going to say that you're older than me. I'm not saying just a little bit.
Right.
But listen, we're gonna take another break here. We're gonna play a little bit more music, and then I'm gonna come back and talk to you a little bit about a little more of your life and what you got going on right now, other than the book. And then we're gonna talk about how to get your book and some of the other things that you are doing right now. All right.
Okay.
Be back.
Sounds good.
And you're listening to LCJW Radio, your faith walking station. Let it be real. Let it be real. Whatsoever. Oh, Lord. Oh, let it be real. Let real. Oh, whatsoever. Oh, when you sing your song, when you're walking alone, what's up? If my granny was here today, these are the words I believe she'd say, y'all. What's up? You gotta do it from your heart, baby. Stay right there. Stay right there. You gotta stay there. Stay right there. Let it keep real. Let it keep real. Lord, let it keep real. Whatever you do, y'all, do it from your heart. Yeah. Do it from your soul. Yeah. No come but you fight the battle. Everybody try and see, yeah. You got the victory. Yeah. Everybody clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Now everybody move. When trouble comes your way, you need to stay. Trials come just to test your faith. Always remember just who you are. Jesus is there. He won't let you fall. Oh, you want to clap your hands right there. Come on, y'all. Say, let it be real. Whatever you do, y'all, you gotta let it be real. Do it from the bottom of your heart, yeah. When you pray, you gotta let it be. And when you sing your song, yeah, win. Hey, yeah.
That's Brandon Jordan. Let it be real. Now we got Treva Jones. Give me a clean heart.
Give me a clean heart so I may serve thee. Lord, fix my heart so that I may be used by thee. I am not worthy of all your blessings. If you give me a clean heart, I'll follow you. I need a clean heart. I want to serve thee. Lord, fix my heart so that I may be used by thee. For I'm not worthy of all these blessings. Please give me a clean heart, and I'll follow thee. asking for the riches of this land. I'm not asking how me to know my name. Give me, Lord, a clean heart so that I may be used. Give me a clean heart, and I'll follow you. I know I'm not worthy of all these blessings. I'm asking for a clean heart. I want a clean heart. If you give me a clean heart, I'll follow thee. Every day of my life, I'll follow thee. I wanna be for your service. I wanna be used for your glory. I wanna be and begging, asking, Lord, for thee. Use my heart so I can love right. Use my hands so I can give right. Use my soul, I wanna live right. Every day I want to be used so I can see right. Oh, I need a clean heart. Every day I want to love right. I want to be used. Give me a clean heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me a clean heart. Yes, I do. If you give me a clean heart, every day of my life, I'll follow you. Yes, I do. You are holy. You are holy. You are holy. You are God. You are holy. You are holy. You are holy. You are God. You are holy. Yes, you are. You are holy. Oh, you are holy. You're holy, God. You are God. Hey, you are holy. You are holy, God. Yes, you are. You are holy. Listen, my God requires a holy and sanctified life. Yes, He does. My God requires, hallelujah,
holy and sanctified. Yes, he does. My God requires holy, yes, he does, and sanctified. Oh, yes, it is. So I just need according to his word. Hey, yes, you are God. He's a holy God, yeah. Hallelujah, yeah. You are God. Yeah, you are. Ooh, yes, you are. You are holy God. You are. I'm a living witness. He will stand by his word. Yes, he will. Now sing it verse one more time, y'all. Hey, my God requires a holy and sanctified. Yes, he does. My God requires. Yes, he is. A holy and sanctified. Yes, he does. My God requires. Oh, a holy and sanctified. Yes, he does. So I just need according to his word. You are. How many believe that tonight? That he's a holy God. Yes, he is. You are holy God. Yeah, yeah. I'm a living witness that he is. You will set by his word and every word that he said. He's a holy God. Yeah, yeah. You are holy God. Yes, you are. Late in the midnight hour, when I don't have nobody to talk to, I can call on him. Yes, I'm a living witness that he said by his word. When the doctor said I wouldn't live to see 1990, and God had given me 29 more years, I got a right to give him glory. Yes, you are. How many know tonight that we serve a holy God? There's nobody like him. Nobody like him. A few years ago, I didn't have no hope. I lost everything I had. But how many know that my God everything? Yes, he does. Not one time did I go hungry. Not one time I didn't have a roof over my head. My God, he required me to live a holy and sanctified life. That's all he requires us to do. You can do all this other stuff. But all he asks us to do is live saved and sanctified, clean from sin. Hey, Lord, hey, Lord, hey, Lord. How many know that tonight? I need y'all to get it. Hey, he's a holy God. Yeah, you are. You know he gave it back to me double fold.
Well, listen, we have been listening to none other than we've listened to Brandon Joyner. We've also listened to none other than Treva Jones. Is a Houston artist, and Brandon Joyner is out of, I can't remember where he's from. But y'all know I'm a little slow. I can't remember where these orders are. All these orders is from. But anyway, the last one was none other than You Are Holy by none other than Lady Cassaundra Webb. That is my newest single. Well, it's not new. I did it back in 2018. We recorded live right there in Las Vegas at the 2018 Stellar Awards there in Las Vegas. We did that recording. And we had my good friend with his crazy self. We had a Bishop. Oh God, I can't even think of half the people we had there. It was so many people there that I can't even remember all of them. But I enjoyed the whole recording. I had some people come all the way from Chicago. Our musical engineer was out of Los Angeles, California. It was just a phenomenal event. We had several artists on the platform that did their recording that year. It was called Sunday. It was a Sunday best. It was not a Sunday best, but it was a Stella's best. And I thought that was so amazing to be a part of something that was so beautiful. We did it one year, then we came back and released it the next year right there at the Stellas. And so I was like, oh my God, it was so exciting. And so this year,
I think that was the song that I heard when I pulled it up on YouTube.
Oh,
I think that's the one. I'm not sure. I mean, you can't hold me to that. I know I pulled up something.
Yeah, there's a good many of them. It's a couple of them on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know it's one of them. I probably have to go back and say, okay, maybe that's the one from 2018. But you had a couple of them. It was the first one that came up. That's what you were on stage. That's all I recall. You were.
Oh wow, I was on stage on that one. Ooh, what?
Yeah, you were on stage.
Well, you know, I done been on a lot of them, so I don't know. It probably was. I can't keep up it, but I just knew it was. But I tell you what, since you were, we were told, I was geared that you are single, and how long have you been single? You've been are you single? You're a father of two. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm a father of two. I have two grown boys. My oldest son is 29. Yeah, my oldest son is 29, be 30 in May of next year. And my youngest son, which was supposed to be my photographer, who should have been with me on this trip, he pretty much is behind the scenes and takes, does my videography and photos. He didn't come this time to Atlanta, but he's 28. So they're like 18 months apart. And wow. I have a grandson that's 5 years old, and that's pretty much my family. And see, I'll go into the rest of that in my book, when it comes up, the highs and the lows of family, the toils, the trials, the tribulations of everything that went along with that.
Well, it's when you're in this type of when your career is music, television and everything, you don't have the usual family life. Some people don't. You don't have the support that you need as far as that. And I kind of think that when you get married, when you're young, I was 25 when I got married, and I think I still was being a young kid. I didn't understand the rules of being married. I didn't understand the rules and regulations of being who I was at the time. And so, there were things that I did that probably, I don't know if young women did anyway, because I would always say, hey, I didn't have to tell my mama nothing. When I leave the house, I just tell my mama where I'm going, and, and that's it. My mom, I'm going, I'll be back, so when I got grown, that's what I did. When as a child, as a teenager, I told her where I was going, and I gave her information on where I was going, because if I didn't, I would probably have the APB out for me,
exactly.
and with a belt on the other end.
True.
So, but when I got married, I never understood that you have to tell the person that you're with where you're going. So I used to get in the car and I'd just be driving and doing things. I go make offers, I do everything, do the regular things that a person's supposed to do. So I just never figured out that, I had to tell you that I'm going to the store. I'm
Right.
gotta tell you I'm going to do this, and I never understood that. So why? But later on I did. As far as marriage went along, being married over 20-something years, and then divorced after that, it's kind of it takes a toll on people's lives, and it changes your life. But you grow. But you grow from all of that, and I think that being who you are and whose you are, it helps you to grow up. It helps you to go.
One thing, kind of piggybacking on what you just said, about going out, just doing what you want to do when you first get married. Grown folk, even today, when they are in their 40s and 50s, are doing the same thing, unfortunately, and trying to keep their marriages together. I think the main thing that we have to understand when we are a unit, that we are still individuals, and we have to respect each other's individuality, but at the same time make a unit out of it. So you respect what I do, I respect what you do, but together we compromise in the middle to make things happen. I can't expect you to be what I want you to be, and vice versa. So it's a partnership. I think a lot of people have gotten away, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier about the family. We forget about what the unit really stands for and what it is.
Yes.
And a lot of us have not come from a place where we understand what that is. And if I can use a correlation of a father, a lot of people don't know what a real father is. How can they learn who our Heavenly Father is if they never had experience with a real father?
Wow.
And that doesn't necessarily mean their blood father. It could be a father figure. It's a respect thing, and it's a way that you have to be able to relate to that, So once again, we have to get back to what the unit means, what it is to be in a coexistent relationship, which is marriage, and bring that back to the table, because divorces and breakups and families are spread all over. Togetherness is not there anymore. It's all about baby mamas and baby fathers and all this, but we're lacking in the family. But we have to have respect for each other. That's all, and learn how to coexist.
Yes,
it's not.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great analogy of it all. And nowadays we don't have more family units. It's kind of it is difficult to that the children look at this and go, I stayed for my children, and regardless of what that goes on in your life, a lot of times you figure, and you grow apart. It's not always what you want to happen, but things happen to where you're on the same level anymore.
Right.
When we were young, we did the young things, but when we were, the things that we do now, it makes a difference. And so I thank God for growing me up. And I guess, bringing me to adulthood, encouraging my mind to listen at the things that I needed to do and like you said, there are not fathers. I thank God. I had two fathers. I had my biological father, and I had my stepdad that raised me from the age of 12 until now. My dad is in his 80s now. My stepfather's in his 80s. My biological father, I lost him in 2010. But my mom felt, she was a young girl, and when these young women, they have children, and then they don't understand that. Her mother died when she was 11 years old. So she didn't have that type of analogy of being a mother or being taught how to be a mother or how to do things. It was a lot of things she did. Maybe they weren't right. They weren't always right, but they were things that how she grew up knowing what to do. But as a mother myself, I have a blended family. I have 5 children blended. I have 3 of my own. We adopted our last baby. That is the glue. She's the glue. Okay. Well, she was supposed to be the glue. Anyway. She was supposed to be the glue, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Okay. But anyway, we thank God for that. But being a mother of 5, even blended, I have 2 boys and 3 girls, and I love them, and I have 6 grandgirls. So you have your hands full. Oh yes. A set of twins, one set of twins, as a matter of fact, too.
Oh.
Like you said, 18 months apart, them twins. Oh my God. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Don't really have a relationship with them. They live in Dallas, but
okay.
But we we have 4 here that 3 live in my house. I have 3 live in my house that I can't get rid of.
Right.
But anyway, we're gonna talk about that another time.
And that's going to be a difficult thing to get them out of your house, you know.
They don't want to go nowhere.
Of course not.
And they don't want to leave their granny. They don't want to leave their granny alone. They say granny alone. They don't want to. But that is the most a loving thing that you can ever have is a grandchild. And I think that is anybody that has never experienced it, it's time to experience it. Or if it's when your time to experience it, you will understand the love that you shared as a mother or a father is totally different than the love that you share with your grandchildren. My daughter continues to tell me I'm not the same mother that I was to her as I am to the grandchildren. Them not my kids. They're my grandchildren. I don't have to do them like that. I don't have to, but it's a difference. It's a difference. Yeah. And I've been excited to just be with you on tonight and that you're on my show, Kickin' It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb. And again, please tell the people when your book is coming out, the name of the book. And again, I am excited because we have the Quiet Storm man himself on Kickin' It Live with Lady Cassaundra. Y'all don't understand the Quiet Storm. I wish I could go back at some of the old radio shows that really talked about the Quiet Storm.
Let me tell you, the Quiet Storm, it's a lifestyle. It used to be a lifestyle before technology took over. Because there was a time where people called the radio station and asked for their favorite song. They wanted to know, Phil, what was that you played? And they sat up all night just to hear that one song being played.
Just to hear that one song. I would. I'd call it.
There you go. And the thing about it is that the only way that you could find out the name of that song is that you had to wait for me or other Quiet Storm jocks across the country to play it.
Yes.
So that's what made it a lifestyle. People gathered around the radio station back in the 70s, the 80s, and even the early 90s before technology took over. And it spoke of love and relationships and togetherness and life was just so different at that particular time. But it's something about the flow. It's something about the slow jams, that people really love. They still love them today. It's a different form, but to me, it's not the same as it used to be. I can play the format. I was able to program my own shows back in the day. And working at WHUR in Washington, D.C., the home of the original Quiet Storm. And I have to give props to the father of the Quiet Storm, who was Melvin Lindsay, who actually started that format back in 1975. And that's how it spread it all the way across the country. And I picked it up in 84 in Hampton Roads in Norfolk and Virginia Beach. And it's a specialty show. It's supposed to be a specialty show, away from the formatics of what you hear during the day. Album cuts, jazz, even a little bit of contemporary gospel. At that time, I played Tremaine Hawkins, and BB and CC Winans, and because that stuff was still young, contemporary gospel at the time, you could still play that, that sort of thing. It's okay. That was one of my favorites to play in the storm.
Yes, it's okay.
They had a Quiet Storm mix of It's Okay. And I used to love playing that, the message on that. But it's one of those things that like I said, it was the best thing that ever happened to my career. It really sustained me. It was able to take me places, to be able to go to DC and host that show in part, along with doing some gospel. Was one of the greatest things in my career. And it's kind of split my career in half, where I can go to the R&B side, I can go to the gospel, and also the jazz side, because I play jazz as well. So I'm grateful to be able to be put in that scenario, to be a host to that many, or actually those types of genres of music, and to work with the artists that I played to as well. So it's really remarkable. But the book, The book, like I said, we have the picture book coming up in February. There hasn't been a determined release date on the finalization of the book yet, because the picture book is the pre-sales. Once I get a determination date, everything's taken care of. I would love to be able to come back on your show and give the listeners some more information, but it probably will be released on all digital platforms. There will be more than likely some book signings throughout the country, but I would love to come back and tell the listeners.
Come on, Houston, come on, Houston. Bring it on, bring it on.
There you go. Look, like you said in Atlanta, we're gonna take that thing and move it around.
Come on, let's move it around. Let's move it around. Move it around. We can get it all over everywhere.
There you go.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Really appreciate you, Cassaundra, for giving me the platform to come on tonight, because we've talked for a while, and I hope the listening audience has gotten a chance to get to know me, so to speak, and that will give you some sort of an idea of what you're looking forward to in the book once it's released.
Yes, I just thank you for tonight. We usually have an hour and a half show, and so this is what we did on tonight. Kicking It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb. They keep telling me I need to do it 2 hours. I'm like, dog, people gonna be, but because we play music in between, we do a little real talk. It's like it's sometimes you get to talking to a person and it's just like you're sitting there with them, and the conversation gets so real to where it's really, really good. And then you play music in between that. So it's not like you really on a long time. It's just you enjoy talking to the person that you're talking to. And then you enjoy playing the music also. I just thank you for choosing tonight again, or even when you choosing the Spin Awards, #1 to come to for 2023, and also meeting you there at the Spin Awards. I think that you are a phenomenal person, and what you're doing is great. Keep doing what you're doing for the kingdom. And like Brandon Jordan always say, and that's one of my top songs, let it be real. Whatever you doing for the master, let it be real. You don't have to fake it, you don't have to shake it, you don't have to do anything else. But whatever you're doing for him, let it be real. Because I don't like fake people, I don't like fake things. It's got to be real. It's got to be real. It's got to be real. So I applaud you on tonight, Mr. Phil Nelson, and thank you again for coming on and Kicking It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb with Girl TV.
Girl TV. Hey. And once again, thank you so much, for doing what you're doing, and good luck and much success on your new CD. Okay, on that new CD and that single.
Thank you.
Now, wait a minute. I'm going to turn the mic around for a second. Where can people get your new CD?
Well, I am now signed. I'm not an independent artist anymore. I'm not signed with Archerfellow Records, and also, and then they can find me on all digital platforms, which is the single is You Are Holy, and it is amazing, because God gave it to me in my prayer closet, and I think that anytime you have prayer time, God give you great things.
Yes, he does.
In the private times of your life. The private times is more important to God than anything. So I think that they can find me on all digital outlets, Lady Cassaundra Webb, and just go for You Are Holy. Nothing too hard for God. Send me miracles, all those great things that God has given me. And boy, look out. It's some more great stuff coming.
There's more to come. Make sure you check out this woman's CD. Make sure you check her out, because she can sing. Okay, if you haven't heard her sing,
my goodness.
So much continued success to you. And I want you to know that you already know that God loves you. He has a place for you, and in your continuation and your success, He's going to take you places that you've never seen.
Thank you so much. Listen, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We're Kicking It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb right here on LCJW Radio and Girl TV. We are excited tonight about what God is doing in the kingdom. Look, stay tuned for more great Kicking It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb. On next week, we will have none other than the great Mr. Hall of Fame radio man himself, Mr. Bobby Parker. You guys right here on Kicking It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb. I'm excited because I've been waiting on this interview for a long time. So I thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And my special guest all the way from Washington, D.C., Mr. Phil Nelson. Please listen, go and get the book when it comes out, The Storm, The Quiet Storm, and listen, I can't even imagine he's the Quiet Storm man himself. And again, tell us the name of the book, please.
The name is called in the wait a minute, I'm getting it all twisted myself. In the Eye.
In the Eye.
See, it came. Wait a minute. It came from a series of drops that I used in my show.
Okay.
So it's a lot of correlation because I had In the Eye and In the Mist. So I chose In the Eye. In the Mist seems to roll off my tongue a little bit better because I can hear it. But the name of the book is In the Eye of the Storm, The Quiet Storm. Peace be still.
Okay.
There you go.
In the Eye of the Storm, The Quiet Storm, Peace be still.
Be still.
Listen, I got it now, y'all. In the Eye of the Storm, Quiet Storm, Peace be still, by none other than Mr. Phil Nelson himself. Listen, it's coming out. Stay tuned. The picture book will be out in February. He's having his birthday party, y'all. Listen, go celebrate with Mr. Phil. I won't be able to celebrate with you. I was gonna come, but I'm not gonna be. I'm at the Super Bowl.
Well, I'll think about you in heart. I'll say Lady Cassaundra sitting on a 40-yard line somewhere. You know, she already told me what's up, so I can't be mad.
I'm just excited to go. I've never been to a football game before, so not a real football game. High school, but college, never a real football game. So this is going to be exciting.
Well,
but anyway, thank you for tuning in with us, and thank you for being on the show tonight. We thank you so much, and we appreciate you. Please stay tuned with us. Tune in with us on next Monday night. Again, we will have none other than the Hall of Fame radio person himself, Mr. Bobby Parker. I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it, as my cousin can say. Listen, stay tuned. More Kicking It Live with Lady Cassaundra Webb. I'll see you next week.